Hi everyone, I'm Ash.
And I'm Joe, and welcome. And this is what Tesla 2023 quarter two earnings call recap, shall we call it?
That's the one.
And this is after we've had one full day of trading since the earnings call. So yeah, very interesting.
Now, to be honest, I haven't actually checked what it's saying today. I've been so busy.
Don't worry, I got it ready.
Lovely job.
Okay, so do you want to run earnings call first and then go stock price, or
Yeah, run an earnings call first.
right, let me share the PDF. All right, here we go. Quarter two 2023 update. What did you think of the earnings call? Nothing special, nothing new.
No, all to be expected. There's nothing in there that I wasn't expecting to come out. Yeah, it happened as I thought, to be honest.
Same boring questions as always. It's like stop asking the same questions. Start asking new stuff. Come on. We want new
SFD.
information.
Unfortunately, you don't have the right people on that call to ask the right questions, but
Yeah.
there we go.
So from what I've seen, a lot of people speculating that the stock prices dropped so much because of this. The fact that they've dropped under 10% operating margin.
Yes. Not that it's a problem.
Yeah, it's not a problem. It's not about. Someone made the analogy about Costco and those companies. They said we don't pay our bills in percentage, we pay our bills in dollars. We'd rather sell a lot of things for a little percentage and make a lot of dollars.
Of course, yes.
And it's just like, yeah, no point having 100% operating margin on, making one sale of $10. Then you only get $10. Rather sell a billion items at $10 and make 10%.
Exactly.
Then you make a lot more.
Well, we knew the margins are going to drop because they did that on purpose. It's,
Honestly, I was hoping for it to drop more than it did.
that's wishful
Mo-
thinking, that is.
Mostly because I wanted the share price to drop more so I can buy even lower.
Don't be greedy.
I am greedy. I want it to go lower.
Unfortunately, that's the way it goes.
Because we're getting very close to FSD and only a couple of years away from both Robotaxi and Optimus full ramp and even the little cars being, within the next 5 years, I think all three of those things are going to play out.
Yeah,
And
I think the one thing they also
it's
massively overlooked is the licensing software for FSD.
mm,
They, nobody's talking about the fact that they're already in talks with one of the OEMs. But
yes.
that got side scooped somehow. That doesn't. It's not news. That is.
No, no, no one's talking about that. Everyone's just talking about the. It's because everyone is short sighted. They only care about now, this quarter, this month, whatever. It's like madness. But yeah,
Hedge fund managers, mate. Unfortunately,
I I can say for me, I'm about 99% certain that it's Ford. Considering that, what was it, 6 months ago, something like that, they cancelled the Blue Cruise project.
yes, that does make sense. I didn't think about that, but I think you're right. Yes.
I mean, they're still doing some updates to it. There was a recent update to the Blue Cruise, but
Well, they can't just scrap it
exactly. But they've
altogether. They're going to have to do
stopped
something with it.
pushing it. They've stopped doing the research and whatnot. I think they're just finishing up and keeping the stuff that is there going.
No,
Um,
what's the point in spending all that money if there's somebody that can really do it better than you?
exactly. Seeing as they were the first ones to take on the Charger, I think they are the ones that's talking about the FSD. And I think when they announced the NAX partnership, Elon kept hinting that we'll help with other stuff, and I think that was more of a hint, like we are busy doing this, like people be aware.
Yes, it's happening.
I'm I'm
But
I'm very certain that it's gonna be Ford that's licensing Tesla's or software.
I wouldn't be
Then
surprised.
yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the numbers. So
Go on, then.
9.6 operating margin, that's lower than before. Blah blah blah. All these things like, okay, whatever. It's growing. It's not growing. Just like I don't care about now. I care about the next stuff. The next stuff. The next stuff. This one
As
is
far as I
good.
can see, they're still doing great.
Yeah, these ones are good for me. Free cash flow and increase in cash and investments. This has gone higher than last quarter. Last quarter was an extremely low one. Still an increase, which is good, but it was quite low. I think it was 0.3. So compared to the quarters before, you could see they were massively saving before because of the recession fears and stuff. They wanted to have a buffer. Now that they
Yes.
have the $20 billion buffer, now they're massively investing. And I like that. Please invest.
No, there's no chance they're going to stop anytime soon,
No, it's going to be going on for the next, 20 years or so.
at least. And in
Produce,
those 20 years, the next 20 things will come up and it'll go for the following 20 years.
yeah, Cybertruck factory tooling on track. Well, yeah, they've already producing whatever RC builds is. What's RC builds? Release candidate builds. Don't know what that is.
It's been a few months ago that there was already an update on the Tesla website
Yeah.
where they were starting to sort the factories out.
Well, they last quarter they said they're tooling. Now they're tooling and
Yes.
they're building release candidates. So we're getting there. So by next quarter, I think release candidates will be over and they'll start actual production for sales.
Let's hope so.
Hmm. So everything good, everything up except for this. Like pretty much everything is up except for the margins. So 18.2, I was hoping for 17.5 to 17.2. Not that I crunched any numbers, I was just being greedy. I just knew if you drop that low, the price would drop like a fly. That would have been awesome if you dropped that much. But yeah, me being
Would have
greedy.
been lovely.
We all knew it was going to drop from the previous quarter. I don't see why anyone's surprised. And if this is going to drop, the operating margin is going to drop this one. So obviously, but people are just all shocked out about it. Net income attributed to common stockholders. This is the numbers people need to care about. Is has your income per share increased or stayed at least stable? Look there, 91 earnings per share compared to the previous quarter, 0.85. And the numbers before that we can't really count because that was when prices were sky high. So everything was going to be a higher day. Now we're back to normal. So
Yeah, it's almost a bit more acceptable now.
yeah, people are saying that everything's dropping, everything's dropping. No, everything's good now. Everything's where it's supposed to be. This was when we had all the shutdowns and this and that affecting prices and supply shortages and everything, making Tesla force them to raise prices. So
Yes.
yeah, cash and cash equivalents. I like this number. I like that it's gone up a little bit.
Yeah, that almost has to keep rising. Again, those ones that fell, that was always going to happen. The moment they dropped their prices and everything else,
It's
everybody should have put one and one together and got to two, not four.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, revenue growth because of growth in vehicle deliveries. Yes, very good numbers in vehicle deliveries. We probably going to hit 1.9 million this year, so a major increase from last year's 1.3.
Mm-hmm. They're well on track to get that done.
I wish Tesla would sandbag a bit more so that I wish Tesla wouldn't say give any guidance like they did with the 1.8 millions for this year.
They
Because
can't
now,
do that. Wall Street will hit the ceiling, mate.
well, they didn't used to give guidance before, and everybody made up their own numbers, and then Tesla always like came short of their numbers, and then the price would drop. So good for us. Now that Tesla's giving guidance, and they're gonna crush those guidance, now the price is gonna go up. Look at where we are compared to beginning of the year.
Yeah, investors were complaining too much about that, unfortunately. Well, not investors, hedge fund
Traders,
managers.
traders.
Traders and hedge fund managers were complaining because there's not enough meat on the bone within the next month for them to
Yeah,
worry about.
the negative foreign exchange impact again. So there's nothing you can do about it. It just
Uh,
happens.
that is always going to happen.
And these things are always going to be in here. Something like this, where they are investing in new stuff and upgrading production. So there's always going to be operating expenses.
Put it this way, if you don't see that, it might be a good time to stop investing into Tesla stock because then the company's not growing.
Exactly. Exactly. We want to see this. We want to see them spend money on these things because that in the long term is going to send the share price higher.
Of course, yes, they are thinking
Yes,
about the future. They're not
exactly.
just stuck in their ways and dealing with the stuff that they've got at this moment in time.
I'm just going to go back. I just want to see, did I miss that? No, I think it's broken out in the other pages. Anything else on this page?
Nothing good there.
Yeah. Here we go. Production numbers. This is what they already released. Beginning of end of the quarter. So beginning of this quarter. Here we go. These are the good numbers. I'm loving these numbers. Storage deployed.
Less than last quarter.
Yeah, that's fine. Remember, they are ramping another production line in Lathrop, and
That's true, yes.
so there's construction works going on while they're producing stupid amounts of storage, and the building is said to be able to do 40, so they at 12. No, what's that? 16 now. The building can do 40 a year. So when the next line comes up, they'll be at 32. Then they just got to ramp efficiencies at those two lines, and then we'll be sitting at about 10 gigawatts per for this one building per
Yes.
quarter. 10 gigawatts per quarter for this one building, and they've already started building new ones in China. So yeah, good stuff. This one's always going
Beautiful.
up, Tesla locations, but this is the big number. Every freaking quarter, it goes up by 2 to 3,000 more connectors. Every 3 months is madness.
It's basically 1,000 new ones a month that's going in.
Yeah, 1,000 new charging units, basically. Stations, they see stations as an entire location where there could be anywhere between 8 and 90 something on some of them. Geez, I think there's one somewhere that has 100 and something already.
Wow.
Yeah, I think there's one recently in America that just went to 96, went from 40 something to 96. That's how it should be done. That's how
I
it
was going
should
to
be
say that
done.
has to be stateside. I didn't think it'd be anywhere else.
I mean, we got some pretty decent ones here. We got a couple of 24s, got a lot of 16s, couple of 24s, loads of 8 connector stations.
There's loads of them.
Yeah, loads, and they're making a lot more of them. So yeah, this is good. These numbers, 33% increase over last year this time. So in a year's time, they've gone up by what's that, 12,000 connectors worldwide. No other company, no other charging company grows that quick.
No, that's why they're using their chargers now.
Exactly. It just makes sense. I really wish we'd start seeing numbers for other things, such as semi. I just want to see, are we building one a week? Are we building two a week? You know,
They won't release that yet. It's not enough to actually move the needle.
I
So
know it's not. I know it's not moving the needle. I just want to know. It's like, how is the ramp going of that? That's what I want to know.
no, I think it's a good thing that they're keeping it quiet. It just gives us investors another opportunity
Hmm.
without them spoon feeding everybody. This is
Yeah.
what's happening. This is what's going to happen. It's exactly what you're complaining about. You don't want them to make predictions, and now you're going, "Oh, I wish I could see more predictions."
No, I don't want predictions. I want statistics. I want
No,
history. I want facts.
until
Historic facts.
until they ramp and until they actually start proper releasing these vehicles, I don't see a reason for them to add it in.
Yeah.
It'll be like them putting a section on there for Optimus. It's pointless. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter yet.
Not
It
yet. No.
matters, but not yet.
Yeah, but stuff that's in production now, I feel should be in there. And
Mm,
Cybertruck is not Cybertruck. Semi is in pilot production. Okay, fair enough. Maybe once they finish the expansion at Nevada and actually start producing it properly, maybe then they'll start including it.
oh, definitely. Then they'd be stupid not to,
Yeah.
and they will.
So
They'll have to because investors will just go absolutely mad if they don't. And that's me and you included. And I'm not just talking about short-sighted
yeah.
gamblers.
So maybe I am jumping the gun again because they are on pilot. So they probably
Yes,
don't need. Yeah.
I would
So
say give that another couple of months, before, maybe even a year or so, before we see any
mm,
movement on that.
Cybertruck is. Can't
I
wait.
actually, looking at that, I reckon a Cybertruck will probably be before the semi.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because the building's done. They're busy tooling. Nevada, they're still
Exactly,
busy doing the building expansion. Then they got to tool it. So yeah, no, Cybertruck will definitely be out before the semi.
100%. And you'll also be able to see more numbers and
Mm.
everything on that. But
Oh,
yeah,
I was
semi
very
and Optimus we won't see for another 2 to 3 years, I don't think.
yeah. I was very surprised with this one, the Berlin Model Y at 375,000. I thought the first phase was designed to be 500,000 Model Ys because they're now starting expansion on phase two. So this number I really was thought to be closer to 500,000 capacity, but maybe I was wrong.
Mm. Might have had a snag somewhere that we don't know about.
Maybe, but still
Still not
375.
bad going.
That's good numbers. They're definitely sandbagging Shanghai. massively. We know that building has a capability of doing over 1 million, so that's massive sandbagging. Tesla should sandbag more. Yeah,
You will give people heart attacks if they hear you say that.
that's
Say it
fine.
again. Say it again.
Yeah. Oh man, what is there to say about this? Love, I love this chart, and now they just need to start bringing FSD to other countries outside the US. Well, obviously they're gonna get it in US going first, but this,
Once they release it in the US, it's not a long time before it goes everywhere else. The only thing
no,
it has to get used to driving on the other side of the road. That's not hard.
and considering you can already get the FSD non-beta, like the basic FSD here, the
Hmm.
one that's basically just a more advanced version of autopilot, but that does allow for like traffic light recognition, street sign recognition, and that kind of stuff. So I'm guessing they already have all the street signs and traffic, and all the local, how do you call it, the changes in the street signs, all the local changes in street sign already incorporated.
You'd think so.
I would imagine so. The cameras already recognize the changes in speed limits on the motorway,
Hmm.
so that's already there. Not all other vehicles that has the cameras that can see speed limits recognize the motorway ones. They only know that your on the motorway should be 70. Now they don't necessarily see the overhead ones. They only see the ones on the side.
Yes,
Yeah, but this is mad. Where are we now? Yeah, October 23.
it's roughly about there. Yes.
Some of it July 23. Yeah, which June, July. So we are at what? The equivalent of maybe 25,000 NVIDIA A100s. And they reckon they're going to get, in a year's time, a little bit more than years, to the equivalent of 300,000. That is a tenfold increase in compute power.
They're going to need that.
Yeah. And as Elon said on our earnings call, is they are buying every chip that Nvidia's willing to sell them. But obviously Nvidia needs to sell to other people as well. So
Not for
no,
long. Don't worry.
Nvidia could probably sell out their entire production just to Tesla if they wanted to. I'm sure Tesla would be buying it, but that
And
would that would
I
annoy a
can
lot of their customers.
I can see that happening within the next few years. Once all the ones that's going to have to go bankrupt gone bankrupt, and
Yeah,
the ones that has to just join in with Tesla will join in with Tesla, and then they wouldn't have to sell anything to anybody else because all the chips will come through them.
yeah,
Simple as.
yeah. I was very surprised that they're doing a separate 4680 battery for Cybertruck, like the slightly better version for Cybertruck. So that was quite unique, interesting for me.
Then
Quite.
it's interesting, but I'm not surprised by it. I mean, it's a utility vehicle. It would need more power than what you
Why
would
not just
normally
make
have.
all the batteries better to the same standard,
I'm
and
sure
then
they
you
will.
can just use less batteries in each vehicle?
They probably will, to be
Yeah,
honest.
probably.
But again, start with a Cybertruck, go from there. Again, it's new technology, mate. This is all stuff that they're busy working with. And as they're finding, oh, we can do this, we can do that. Oh, yeah, cool. We could adopt it into the cars. But now they're busy with the Cybertruck. Let them figure that one out first.
Yeah.
And the technology will trickle down into the rest. It's just how it works.
Yeah, maybe it's just to do with the different production lines. Once I get one up to scale, then it'll change the other one to do whatever.
Of course,
Yeah.
yes. They're not going to go and change production between the Model 3 and Ys now, whilst they're halfway through getting to grips with the Cybertruck. That'd be stupid.
Well, they are doing that. They did say shutdowns coming this quarter in
Yeah,
pretty much every factory.
we'll see what happens. Maybe
That's
they
gonna.
do it, maybe they
Oh,
don't.
that's
But that's one of those question mark signs that can do one of two things. Either the price will plummet or it's going to skyrocket like nothing you've ever seen.
no. It will drop once those numbers come out, and the people who weren't aware, which is gonna be most of them, that there was shutdowns, and they see the numbers getting so much lower, the prices will drop, guaranteed. But for the people who are aware of it, they won't. It won't affect them. They will adjust their numbers now to sort of estimate what they will do there.
What that's going to look like, yes.
Yeah. What did you think about them doing this one-time FSD transfer?
I'm a fan of it, and I don't think it should be a one-time thing.
I completely agree with you there. My reasoning for it is, if I buy a computer and it comes with Windows on it,
Hmm.
fine. Most of the time, like let's say it's a laptop. It comes with it on it. You don't get a disk. It's whatever. But if I buy the software separately, which I do a lot because I've built PCs and I buy the operating system separately and I do everything myself, I can then chuck that PC and I still have the operating system
Yes.
file, or I still have the license key.
Yes.
So we're talking about something that cost me, I think Windows 10 is like 100 quid or something. I'm not saying I'm paying that, but still, I got the file. Um, there's ways of getting it a lot cheaper than that. But if
Yes.
you're going to be paying 15 grand for better software, surely you should be able to get to keep that software. If I buy a copy of Microsoft Office, I think the last one you're able to buy is 2019. If you buy that copy of Microsoft Office, you can keep that copy and install it on other things.
Yes.
If I
The
buy
only
a
problem,
copy of any other software, you can take that and install it on a different computer. So why would the software be locked to the vehicle?
I get 100% what you're saying, and I agree with you. And I think what it comes down to is, yes, okay, you can buy Windows 10, but before that there was Windows 8. It was great until the new one came out, and then you had to buy it to get the new one because it was the updates. Now the problem is with Tesla is because they're constantly updating. It is a bit of a tricky one, but I would say, right, okay, let's say you buy a Tesla and you get the FSD in your vehicle. Okay, great, you've got it. In 2-3 years time, you buy another Tesla, that should transfer over. If you go in 2-3 years time and you buy another vehicle, that's it, that's you. If you then buy another Tesla after that, you will have to pay again.
So what you're saying is you should be able to get 2 transfers for every.
You should be able to transfer for the rest of your life. Once you've paid for it, you've paid for it. As long as you keep purchasing a Tesla, it will transfer over into your Tesla. If you stop for 1 year, I don't want a Tesla anymore. I'm going to buy myself a Ford. Fine, go for it. But if in 2 years' time you decide, oh no, I want my Tesla back, you're going to have to pay for FSD again.
That seems like a reasonable option. Yeah.
That's what I think. It rolls for your lifetime. You've paid for it. Ashley, you've paid for it. All right, sweet. There you go, mate. There's your subscription. Crack on. Don't get me wrong. If it was a couple hundred quid thing, I'll pay for it yearly. It is what it is. But because it costs what it costs, I don't think it's reasonable of them to say you can only do a one-time only transfer. If I'm looking to drive Tesla for the rest of my life and I've paid for FSD, okay, I don't know. In a couple of years' time, 4 or 5 years' time, let's say you need to make another payment of, I don't know, call it 2 grand or whatever the case may be, just to keep that subscription. I can understand that. But to having to pay 15 grand every time you get a new vehicle, nah. Rubbish.
I want to see if this pulls up. No, it doesn't. I'm just quickly pulling out the calculator. The regular subscription is going to cost 200 a month, yeah? If you do 200 a month, it's going to take you 75 months or 6.25 years to do the 15K. Now, bear in mind, they intend on increasing FSD price once it goes full.
Of course.
So, what we're talking, 100 grand for FSD?
Don't be stupid. It's not going to be that much.
It's going to be value.
It's going to be value, but it's not going to be 100 grand. Maybe at first, but
it could be justified if the vehicle can bring you in 100 grand a year in income. Then the software could be justified at 100 grand because it pays for itself within the first year.
Okay, potentially, yeah, I can see where you're coming from there.
Halfway through the next year, the vehicle is paid for, and for the next 5-6 years, you are earning 100 grand a year, and then the vehicle is knackered, and then you sell it.
Or the other option is you don't have a lump sum payment for FSD. If you want FSD, it's on a monthly basis. You pay X, you get it per month.
Well, that's already the case, and I think that's what I'm going to end up doing.
That's fine, but then if you're doing that, why do you have to pay 15 grand?
You don't have to. If you do the subscription, it's 200 a month.
Yeah, and I'll happily do that. And then if I go to the next car, you pay the next subscription, or you do it that way.
Yeah,
which is 100% fine. I see where they're coming from. So then if you take that and you copy and paste it, if you've bought your FSD for 15K, 6 years later, don't charge them another 15K, 10 grand, 8 grand, whatever the case may be.
How many people keep their vehicle for 6 years?
Not many.
You'd have to keep that vehicle for at least 6.25 years just to break even compared to, what's his name?
Not many people have a car for more than 2 to 3 years before they move on.
Exactly. So that's the standard. It is 3 years is the standard. It's the average, shall we say. So if I now, let's say I buy it now on the car. Right now it's a lot cheaper here than it is in America because we can get it for 6,800, I think. pounds, which is what, $8,000, give or take.
Yeah, but only reason that is
Because
because
we
we
have
can't
much
actually use
limited,
it.
yeah, we have much less limited functionality. So, yeah, I could get it for discount now. I reckon it's going to be about 3 to 4 years before I'm up for my Cybertruck, before they finished, US sales and start shipping internationally. That's my estimation. If I paid that money now, will I be selling the car or will I be keeping the car? That's my that's what I'm currently debating. You know, we're probably looking at 1.5, 2 years before we get FSD here in the UK.
Mhm.
I reckon. So if I paid now, yes, I can get it cheaper. I don't get to use it for the next 2 years. Is it worth it?
I'm not one to pay for something I can't use.
Or do I wait until it becomes here and then I pay the 200 a month
That's
until I
what I
get
do.
this until I get the Cybertruck? The thing is,
I'm not, I'm not going to pay for a service I can't use. Yes, it's a great service. Yes, it's brilliant. I love it. But I'm not going to pay for it if I'm not using it.
yeah, I can buy the upgraded autopilot thing, whatever they call it, which does allow on the motorway for you to change lanes and whatnot,
Hmm.
which would be nice. But it's 3 grand. I'm like,
Now you're all right.
is it worth it? I'd rather pay the 6 grand for a full package.
Of course, which is why I'd rather wait.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of split on that one. I don't know what I want to do. It's a lot of money to be not using, as we say.
Exactly. I'm not paying a lot of money for half a toy.
No,
Put
and
it that way.
considering the payback period at 200 quid a month is 6.25 years, I think you're better off just paying the monthly fee, because you could buy that card today and a month later it's in an accident, it's a write off.
Yes.
Now
And
you've
then what do you do?
lost.
You've had a one-time transfer only. Now you've had an accident that was not your fault. Now you've
Yeah,
got to pay for FSD again. It's
yeah.
ridiculous. I
No,
like Tesla, but Elon needs to rethink this one.
yeah, no. I understand their thinking behind it.
Or
I,
or
thi-
lack thereof.
I think I understand why they're reasoning the way they're reasoning, but from a consumer perspective, it is idiotic.
It is. And if Tesla's aim is to get people in electric cars and FSD and all that, they would really, really have to look at this because people aren't going to buy in.
No. Anyway, let's move on. Next slide. Energy storage deployments, that's gone up. Lovely.
Lovely. Looks good.
Looks good. Nice little curve there. Yes, this quarter was less than last quarter. Not by much. Still a hell of a lot more than the time before that.
That's it. I'm not going to worry about pennies or, yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting. Services and other gross margin. So basically all the other little things they do is actually starting to become profitable, such as, repairing, supercharging, and all these things. So yeah, they're talking has been a quarter of supercharging because all these people are signing up to the thing. But yeah,
One after the other, they will fall.
geez, look at all Ford, GM, Mercedes, Nissan, Polestar, Rivian, Volvo, and Electrify America. Yeah, interesting. Next page, volume. Yeah, we are planning to grow production as quickly as possible in alignment with the 50% CAGR. Yeah, that's 50% CAGR from when they announced it. What was it, 2000? No, 2021 when they started guiding it. They
Mhm.
are still hitting that from 2021, not from last quarter, not from the quarter before, from 2021. Yeah, not really much I want to run through this that has not been run through by other people. You'll get some lovely photos of my beauty. Can't wait for this beast.
No,
Um,
I don't really care about photos. Show me the thing on the road, then I'll stop worrying about it.
you think these cables are for extra sensors and stuff they got going on it? Because otherwise, that really would look like the Back to the Future DeLorean.
I highly doubt the Cybertruck's going to come with them.
Yeah, I highly doubt it as well. That, good luck seeing through that window. They've let it dry and not wiped it properly. Don't let the mud
Yeah.
dry. You need to wipe it.
Again, I'm not one for these rubbish things. That's Tesla advertising,
Yeah. Uh,
and I can't be asked or can't be bothered with it. It's a stupid idea. Move on. When things on the road, let me know. Until that point, not interested.
what? No, I'm very interested in that thing.
You
Very
know what I
interested.
mean.
I know what you mean. You need it to be real.
Yes. Otherwise, we might
In
as well
cut.
do what Nikola does and roll it down the hill.
Yeah, you need it to be in customers' hands.
Exactly. Then we can start talking. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I am excited, but images on a screen, I don't. Well, doesn't do nothing for me. I want to see one in front of me.
Yeah.
Then I'll be excited. Until then, we'll wait and see.
Yeah. This just good graphs all around. operating cash flow. This one you can see they're fluctuating it as they do investments. It's still positive. It's always
It's
positive. That's that's roughly when I started getting into Tesla, and it's positive. That's all I care about. That they are making money.
no, I only actually joined what Q3 2022. I think I joined
Yeah.
end of
Okay.
Q3 2022.
Vehicle deliveries. Didn't I just do this screen? Trading 12 months. So it's the same thing, just trading 12 months. Okay. Yeah, more charts, more charts. I'm sure chart masters will go through this. Here's the actual financial statements. Not really much I want to go through here. The summary we've already gone through. All this technical jargon, and that's it. That's the end of it. Okay, next thing. Right, here we go. Markets open. And there we are. That is where Tesla released the slideshow we've just gone through. An hour later was the earning call. So it dropped from 291 to 280. Nice. Then there was earning calls. Things were slight, slight trading, blah blah blah. Market opened at 279, so only slightly lower than earnings call. This is after hours, and this is pre-market open, and there's market open. Market open, massive drop down to 263. Then after hours kept dropping, 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 and then today pre-market, massive rise. Stay stable, and now we're at market open. Let's move this a little bit, and we can see a nice drop here where we opened. We opened
Which site are
today.
you using?
This is a program I've installed called
Ah,
Trading View. So
okay.
yeah, we're at 264. We'll see what happens over the next few days. Are we going to hit the 240 that Ashley predicts?
I think we're going to hit the 240s. That's, you can't see it on this chart, but if you look at the actual, like, you can see it, but
What do you want me to bring up?
candles, 3-month view.
3-month view.
And there's our support. If we do drop, we are currently, I can't even show you because you've got the mouse. So if you go to July,
240 is there.
there's your 240, and we are currently at the next up. So that's where our support sits at the moment before, basically with that big green candle. There we go. That's where we are at this moment in time. So we do have support here. If we break this support, we're going down to 240.
Okay.
And I think we'll break the support. But that is just my personal view. I might be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. There's big support where we are. Don't get me wrong, and it's going to take some doing, but I think we'll break it. After the 240, I don't think we'll go much lower than that.
Because you think of this.
Yes,
Why can't we go back down to there?
I don't think that'll happen.
Backwards. Oh, I would love it. I would love it.
See, this is where I do like a little bit of. I know it doesn't work. I know it's rubbish, but a little bit of stocks astrology does just paint a picture.
Hmm.
But again, actually, we've got. There's a chance it might stay.
Oh, look here. Kathy Wood's ARC Autonomous Tech sold 20% of his stake in GM and bought more of TSMC.
If you go between the 6th and the 12th of June, go up to where we just had that massive climb. There's a big climb there.
6th and 12th of June.
Yeah, just zoom out from there. Grab a line, the second one down on your selections tab. Click at the bottom of that one and carry that line straight through.
That's pretty much where we are now.
So we do have that support. Okay. There's a chance we might stick here. A very, very good chance. If you go stocks astrology.
I don't believe in this nonsense. That's why I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Resistance and support, mate. And it does work. Look at what that line's doing and look at what the stock is doing. I know it's not an exact science and it's not a great thing to do, especially if you're looking long term. If you're looking short term, this could potentially help you.
Well,
But
according to
long-term
that,
investment, that doesn't help. But that effectively, that is our support. If you look at that as support, that's where we're sitting. So
look
that
at
means
that. We've already gone below it.
no, yeah, but you play with the line, and then you've gone below it, you've gone above it, and you've gone back down, and now you're going to play with that line. That's how it works. That's where your support sits. But so that's 240, and we've got support at the moment. Whereas if we break that, we can easily then go down to the 240, or we can even go down to the low before that, which was what 222. That was the previous low before that.
What, down here?
No, where you started our blue line. That's 222, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're looking at between 240 and 220 if it drops further from here. I'm hoping it does. I really do, but you do have support here on a short-term view, there's support, so it might not.
I don't care about this nonsense. What I know is, let's zoom out as far as I can. Let's go. This is all time from 2011 to 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're gonna be doing zigzag, 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 and somewhere around here we're gonna go absolute bonkers.
Bonkers. Okay, let's draw my next line, and I'll see where we keep your line there. We'll draw another one for me, and we'll see where we cross. Zoom back in, back to the 3 months.
Back to the 3 month. There's the 3 month. There's my line.
Here's your line. Okay, zoom out for me. All right, if you wait right there, just after the February month sign at the bottom, if you go straight up to the highest point where it was there, next one along.
What that?
That one.
What, you want me to draw a line or something?
Another line from there.
Yeah.
Just follow to the next top. No, next top. I'll go up, 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 next top. Yep, follow the next top and keep going. Draw that line. And now if you want to take my short line at the bottom and extend that for me so it crosses the blue one.
Well, I've reached the limit of the chart.
All right, so, but where those two lines cross and where your line goes up, I'd love to see where that sits because I think it's going to be close.
Let's see if I can zoom it out a bit more. There we go, 6 months, because we're starting to get the highs. There. You reckon it sits there?
When is that? October, November.
378.
If we can keep trading in this zone, you're looking at November time. Okay, that's interesting. And yours is a lot further out than mine.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see. I don't think we're gonna go. So you reckon that by March 24 we will hit 360?
I do.
Based on your stocks astrology
based on short-term gambling, yes. But I don't like short-term. I like to use it to see what the potential is, because it's not an exact science. You can't go by it. It is what it is. But there are similarities, and it doesn't always work. I just like to look at it. I like to play with it. I reckon that's a channel we're looking at.
Yeah.
That's the channel I'm seeing. Well, okay, that's a channel that the stock is showing us.
Yeah, we go back here. Oops, stop right-clicking.
So try and adjust your line so it actually sits on something, because I don't know what you base that line on.
Based on history, based on what Tesla does.
Okay.
Okay, can I go? Let's go. Yeah, 1 year view. No, 5 year view. Here we go. Okay, fine. Tesla could do something like that. I think where we are around there is what I think the stock market average is.
Okay, go in. I'd like to see where that line sits now. Hey, funny enough, look, we cross. Look at where we crossed.
Yeah, around the 220 is what I think the traders are thinking.
Yes, so that's why I said earlier, between 240, 220, we've got the support there. We've got resistance there, but it is highly possible. I don't think we'll drop below 220. Yeah, between 220 to 40 is the trading range, I would say, for the next couple of weeks until the next big thing happens.
Let's look at 1 year view. That's a 1 year view.
Look at how those lines line up. Like my tops, my two is where yours has come from. It's not
your bottoms are kind of hitting my bottoms.
Exactly. I know stocks astrology is not 100% accurate, but it's like that old saying, mate. History don't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme.
Yeah.
It's not an exact science. Don't believe it, or don't believe it 100%, because it will go wrong. It might go wrong. I just find there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, that line needs to go straight up.
So on a shorter time frame, I'm saying we'll hit the 360s by November this year. You're saying it'll hit the 360s
by, it doesn't even show me the date.
No, that'll be 2025 somewhere. So
it looks more like closer to 2026 based on this graph.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I don't think it's going to take that long.
Let's put it this way: this is wishful thinking on my part.
Oh, it's wishful thinking on both of our parts. I'm not going to tell you that this is worst case scenario. It's not. If this happens, it's brilliant. I just don't want to break out of this trading range, because if you do, you ain't got no support.
Yeah, this support nonsense is just not for me.
It's not nonsense.
Unfortunately, that is how the people who do the most volume do work. They do work with those things, and that's why it has some basis.
Of course.
because
Which is why it'd be
they,
stupid to completely ignore it. I'll say
yeah,
it. I don't think it's the most accurate way of doing things, but it works.
yeah,
Well, slightly, kind of, when it does. I don't know.
that's your line. They.
Those are my two lines, and that's our trading range. That's where I think we're sitting, and the stock seems to be agreeing with me.
So what made you choose these dates?
I didn't choose anything. It just you go on your bottoms and where you've had we were at the
What?
bottom there, or we dropped, we went up, we dropped, and then we got the support and we shot up. So that is obviously that's a good support line.
So why you starting there? Why not start there or there or there?
You can, but the line's going to end up at pretty much the same place. You don't want to go too far back. I don't like working too far back. So that is where we had a proper spike up, and that's a good support because you had up, down, up, down, up, down. It was messing, it was going up, but it was still messing about a fair whack. That is the biggest support line you had was at that point.
Yeah. And what
So,
made you
so
start
that's
that one so far back if you said you don't like starting far back?
you can use the another one. You can use the other ones if you want. You're going to sit roughly the same place, mate. You can decide where you want to put it. It's going to move the needle by a little bit, but not massively.
Does it mean that because these ones have gone over that line's not valid?
No, you can move the other side of that line. It's just going to make your no go
Ah,
back where it was. Move the other side of the line, so that
okay.
goes up. But that to
I
me would
can't
be
see it.
less. I think that would be less realistic because that's going to put it. Yeah. See now, okay. Now it gives you a trading range, but it just keeps going up. There's no cross.
Hmm.
I don't believe that. I don't like it. So you got to go back to where you got at least going to get a cross because that's where your bottoms and your tops fight each other.
All right. Anywho, it's all a bunch of malarkey.
It is,
I
but
care.
it's the malarkey that the Wall Streets work with. So
Yeah, I know. I care about what the
unfortunately,
company executes or not, and no one
100%,
executes like Tesla.
100%. But there's a thing that Andrew said the other day. His dad used to tell him, like, if somebody's trying to manipulate you, you have to let them, or you have
Yeah,
to
I
make
know the
them
saying.
think that they're going to let you, because otherwise you don't know what they're planning.
Yeah.
So go with what's there. It's the only thing you can do, because if you fight it, you're fighting a losing battle. Don't believe them, but make them think you do. That's how you come out on top, man.
Stocks astrology. Bye
Again,
bye.
I'm not a big fan of it, but in a short-term gauge to try and give me an idea of what the market's doing, I'll play around with it. If no, but in my actual own investments, where I'm looking at a 15-year plus horizon, doesn't work
No,
at all.
no, you gotta look at fundamentals.
Yes,
What's the company doing? Are they doing good
yes.
or not?
Then it goes company, management, team, flipping everything else that goes along with it, because then there you're investing in a company, in a team.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you are short-term gambling, trying to make money. You're not an investor. You are trying to make money. That's all you're doing.
Yes, exactly. Now, I understand why people are trading Tesla short term because it is a very volatile stock. There's a lot of money to be made short term.
Well,
There's
I
also a
think it's a
lot of
little
money to
bit
be lost.
there is, but I think it goes a little bit deeper.
Explain yourself.
Capital gains.
Yes, that nasty little thing.
Then they're not necessarily selling Tesla stock because they want to, but if you've got a 40 grand tax bill and you don't have 40 grand, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to have to sell this stock. And I think
We-
that happens more often than people think.
yeah. Okay, this has been a long episode. I think we should wrap up.
It has been a long episode. It's been too long, to be honest.
All right, dude. I think we should wrap up there. So, what shall we do? A little quick summary of what we've discussed.
Let's do a summary of what we discussed.
So,
Wow, it's an hour. Wow.
I know, I know. So, overall, good news on the earnings call.
100%. Doing exactly what they said they're going to do.
Yeah, and even though I have wishful thinking, the numbers are good. Even I wanted it to be a bit lower because I want to buy more because I'm selfish. Um,
Hang on for that 220. It might come. You never know.
I really doubt it at this point.
I don't think it will, but I reckon the range we're going to sit is between 240 or 220 and 240.
Yeah. I
If
think the
if it breaks.
240 is possible. I think the 240 is possible. 220, very unlikely. But then again, beginning of the year we were at 103, so madness.
It is possible. Anything's possible.
And good news about the FSD licensing. So
Yeah, they just need to rethink the whole one-time transfer. I'm not a big
yeah,
fan.
that thing's not. I think the thing that you said there is a good thing where As long as you keep buying Teslas, you can transfer it. If you stop buying
Yes,
Tesla, you can't transfer it.
that's it. Even if it's for a year. Sorry,
Yeah,
mate, you went elsewhere. Pay. Of
yeah, yeah, exactly. That will force that will kind of force loyalty.
course, yes. Which is a good thing. You don't want
Yes.
people jumping about.
No.
But by that point, they won't be in any case because there wouldn't be any other EVs to buy. You'd be actually a pleb to buy one.
I do feel that if you do sell a car with FSD on there should be a bit more value added if you have FSD on it. It should the amount of value that you've lost on the vehicle should be the same amount of percentage applied to the FSD. Like you're not
Yes.
expecting to get the full 15k for it that you paid.
No.
But if FSD's price have doubled in the meantime, you might actually make a profit on it.
Well, if it's again, if it's a transferable thing, that wouldn't be an issue.
No, but if you do sell, you should be it should it should be accounted for in the vehicle price.
No, if you sell the car, you sell the car. The car doesn't come with FSD.
No, I'm saying if you don't
You've got
transfer.
FSD.
No, I'm saying
You've
if
got
you.
FSD. The FSD is in your name. It's not in the Tesla that you've got. No.
Ah,
So
okay,
if
so you want to do it that way. Okay.
you sell your Tesla, that Tesla goes to somebody else. It doesn't have FSD. If that guy's got FSD connected to his name, yes, his car will have FSD. Otherwise, no dice.
Oh, so you want FSD linked to your name. In other words, if I have FSD, then I have to buy FSD for my wife as well if she drives my car.
Correct.
Yeah,
FSD is linked to a person,
yeah, but then
not a car.
how's that
But
gonna work then?
if you do it the
Because
other way, it's not going to work, mate, because then they will have to force you that you can only transfer it once, unfortunately, because they will never make money on it. Whereas if they sell it to you on a person, you have bought FSC, you're allowed to use it. Crack on.
yeah, but that's not gonna work because,
Why not?
well, for instance, you're a couple, you have one Tesla. You're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
buy two FSDs for that because then when you transfer
You're,
vehicle,
you're not
how
going to
do
buy
you?
two FSDs. No, you're not. But there's just some work involved. But it's going to work the same way as multi-cover would
Well, no,
on
I think you can
insurance.
work it based on the account. You buy it on account because you can add drivers to the account.
Okay, fine. You do it like that. Add an account. You make an account. You can have a normal family is about 3 to 4 people, 2 adults, 2 kids. So let's say I've got an account. It's called Big Pompies, whatever. You can have 4 drivers on your account.
I don't know if Tesla currently has a limit on how many people's on the account, but I think they should do it like that, limited per account. As long as there's a vehicle associated with that account, it
Yes,
stays there. As soon as you have no longer any vehicles associated with that account, you lose the FSD.
that's it. So yeah, the moment you buy the car, that car is on this account. There you go. That's what you get as your package. You sell the car, they take your package and put it into the other car.
I like this idea. I think it's a good idea.
I think it'll work. I think
Yeah,
it's the only way it could work. Otherwise,
yeah.
I don't see how else they're going to do it.
No, that's a good way of doing it. So we should start making a list of all the things we want Tesla to do and start putting in questions on these earnings calls, like submit questions. Like, can
Yeah,
you
we
do
can.
this? Like, I want the speed limiter. Anything else? What shall we call it?
I think we need to call it because this is going to go to 2 hours very, very soon if we don't stop.
One day we should do that. A nice 2 hour long session.
That won't be a recording. That would be live.
Yeah, that should be live. I agree with you. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Thanks for watching. See you soon.